Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for stopping by once again. If you are new here, kindly subscribe, give me a thumbs up, drop your comment. Thank you.
Okay, so I want to quickly teach us how to read your measuring tape. This is a measuring tape. Now I want to teach us how to read and how to use it so that whenever you are taking measurement, you know what your measurement is saying. Yes. So for every of these long lines, now the measuring tape consists of centimeters side and the inches part. Now for the centimeters, we don't really use centimeter here in this part of the world. We use inches. So this is the side for the inches part. Now for every long line that you see, where the numbers are written very close to it, is called inches. For example, from here to here is 1 inch, from this point to this point is 2 inch, that is from here to here 2 inch, from beginning to this point is 3 inch. Now, and it goes on to the end of the tape. Now, to read the lines that are in between, each of these lines symbolizes something. Now, each of the lines here symbolizes 1/8, and 1/8 in 1/8 in 8 places will give us 1 inch. Just like you say 1/4, that is quarter inch. Quarter 1/4 times 4. 1/4 in 4 places will give us 1 inch. Now, so for every space in between, for every line in between, for every space in between, there are numbers that it represents, that these lines represent. Now you will see another line that is a bit long. That is the middle part of every inch, and it is the half of an inch. Do you understand? Like from here to this point is one and a half, 1.5 inch, or you call it 1.5 if you want to change it to a decimal number. Now, for the first line, this small line after this 1 inch, we can't really see this part because it's covered. That's why I'm using this place. Now, for this first line here, it is 1/8. For the second line here, it is 1/4, which is a quarter inch, or you can say 0.25. Yes. The third line here is another 1/8. Then you have you have 1/2, which is the same thing as half inch. Do you understand? When you bring two quarters together, because between this inch now, between this point, this 1 inch and this other side, the space in between this long line and this other one will give us half inch. And you know, the half of half inch is 1/4, which is quarter inch. That is what makes what half inch here, which is 0.5. 1/4 is 0.25. 1/2, which is half inch, is 0.5. Now the next another, you see another small line after the half inch. That's another 1.8. 1/8, sorry. That's another 1/8. Then you see another quarter inch again. This is another 1.1/4. Do you understand? This is another 1/4. When you add it to this half inch, this first half inch, it will give you 3/4. 3/4. And that is the same thing as 0.75. Now to the next one will now give you 1 full inch. So for example, I measured my tape round a particular round my, let me use my sleeve round as an example. For example, let me measure my sleeve round. When you want to measure, ensure that the point where the end of your tape, the beginning, this tip part touches, is where the end of your measurement is. For example, I want to measure by sleeve round, and I want it to be a bit free. This is 8 inches. This is 8 inches. You can see this is exactly 8 inches. For example, I now want to make it a bit wider. I can decide to make it 8.5, which is here, the middle part. See it. this middle part, 8.5. So now, whatever it is you want to measure, for example, they say you saw a measurement or you want to make use of a measurement, or after taking a measurement you got um, um, quarter inch. You understand? You got a quarter inch. For example, bust circumference of 33.75 or 33 inches 3/4, because 33.75 is the same thing as 33 inches 3/4. You understand? Like I explained to us that 1/4 is the same thing as 0.25. 1/2, which is half inch, is the same thing as 0.5. Now 3/4 excuse me, 3/4 is the same thing as 0.75, which is 3/4 inch. When you add 3/4, when you have 3/4 together, this is 1/4, this is another quarter, this is another quarter, this is 3/4 inch already. And don't forget the middle part here, the middle line in between every inch symbolizes half inch. Do we understand? It's very simple. So this is how far I can explain to us, but I will try and emphasize during our classes so that we can be able to identify it. If you notice during our classes, I always try to show us what the inch represents. You understand? For example, your shoulder measurement is 14.5 or 14 and a half. You measure, when you get to 14, this is 14.25, which is 14 and quarter. This point is where your 14 and half is. This is where your 14 and half is. Do you understand? So I believe we understand how to read our tape rule now. Don't forget, just a recap, every line in every of the inches represents 1/8. When you bring two 1/8 together, it will give you 1/4, which is 1/4 at this point. This is another 1/4. This is another 1/4. And this is another 1/4. When you bring four quarters together, it will give you one whole number, which is 1 inch. That's the simple mathematics that is in it. You understand? Now, for example, when you are dividing your measurements and you get something like let's say 6.333. You understand? Now you want to look for 6.333 on your tape rule. What I usually tell my students is, instead of trying to crack your head and be looking for 6.33, the simplest thing to do while cutting, because most times it is during cutting process that you have such numbers. You understand? It is while cutting that you usually have all those numbers with decimal points. For example, maybe you divided your half length circumference, and then divided by 4, and then you got 6.333 something, depending. I'm just using it as an example. Now, if you want to round it up, 6.333 is greater than 6.25, which is 6 1/4. Now, the closest approximation you can have is 6 1/2, which is 6.5. You understand? Now, you can just round it up and use 6.5 instead of now looking for where 6.33 is. Do you understand? You can just round it up. Then when you are joining the sides of your seam, you can now adjust it to your accurate body measurement. Do we understand? Like when you have such decimals, maybe you have 6.8 something, you can just round it up to a whole number. That is 7 inches. Do you understand? So I'm going to still elaborate more. Probably I'll make another video in that regard so that we can understand better. But this is how simple you can read your tape rule. Yes, this is how simple you can read it. It's very easy and it's very simple. Just simple mathematics, understanding what each line represents, and you are good to go. All right, thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.